Okay, guys, even though this happened like 20 minutes ago because some big breaking news, of course, James Maddison, he has now left Leicester City and he joins Tottenham on a 5-year contract. And for I don't even know how much the fee was because Sky Sports not put it on. However, though, I'm going to get straight into it with my thoughts. Fantastic signing for Spurs. What a player Maddison is. You know what? I knew he weren't going to stay at Leicester, wasn't he? And in all fairness, though, I think it's just Maddison overall. He is a fantastic player. He can play in the midfield role, and in my opinion, he is the sort of midfielder that Tottenham need. Not need to compete for trophies, but actually have some positivity around the club, and not around the club, but in the midfield structure that they have. I'm gonna put these on. And of course, James Maddison, of course, he can deliver, he can assist, he can score goals. So that's your first 3 starters guaranteed in the Spurs team next year. Obviously, it depends, really, because there's a lot of rumours around Harry Kane, not around his future. But if Kane does eventually stay at Tottenham, you're going to have Kane, Son, Kulusevski, and then maybe Maddison and that central attacking midfielder. And by the way, Ange Postecoglou, obviously we all know him from Celtic. He plays counter-attacking football. He plays so attacking, and that is what Spurs need. Because Spurs at times they look lazy. They looked lazy in front of goal last season. Well, apart from Harry Kane, he scored nearly 30 goals in a very abysmal Spurs side, who were just March, who were 3rd in the Premier League, and ended up not. And really, no. So Spurs were just March before Conte got sacked after his run after the 3-3 draw with relegated Southampton, and they were 3rd in the Premier League, and ended up not making Europe. And now, in my eyes, for Spurs, that is very Spursy. Spurs fans, let me know what you think. But however, though, seeing him at Leicester in so many occasions, and I'm like, wow, what a talent he is. And trust me, right? He is a fantastic player. I think he started his career at Coventry. At Cov, then he moved to Norwich, and then obviously spent a good amount of years at Leicester. In my opinion, James Maddison deserves Champions League football, considering first 2 seasons that Leicester finished 5th in the Premier League, and obviously 1 year that Leicester, obviously in 2021, that Leicester won the FA Cup. Leicester should have been in the Champions League then. Leicester should have not had bottle top 4 the way that they did. Well, 2019, 2020. Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. In all fairness, right, Chelsea and United had shown more, more fight to get into the top 4 than Leicester. However, though, 2020, 2021, they were in the top 4 for most of the year. And people were even saying that in February, well, yes, by the way, that was the first year that we won the league. That was the year after Liverpool won the league, by the way. And obviously, that when we got to the Champions League final and we lost to Chelsea. And actually, Leicester, Actually, James Maddison, he actually scored against us, actually, in the 5-2 beating at the Etihad, actually. So, Sportser. Hello, mate. But overall, obviously, James Maddison has been a very key player for Leicester. He is probably Leicester's best player. Leicester, they have lost their best player, but for a good value. Flipping hell, I can't even speak. Value for money. There we go. And to be fair though, Leicester. I know Leicester fans will be very gutted, and that's understandable. But however, though, there's no way that Maddison was going to play in the Championship, is he? Especially for a relegated side. By the way, I'm not having a dig at Leicester here, but I'm just giving my personal opinion. James Maddison should nowhere near be in the Championship. He deserves to be at the top level of English football. He deserves that type of football. For me, he's going to be a great signing. Yes, even though at Spurs, it has not worked. Their transfer structure has not worked in recent years. I've seen it before with Richarlison. But yes, you know what, right? I'll even admit with Richarlison, I'll put my hands up, right? People say he's been a flop. Yes, I understand. He has been a flop. But however, though, he's rarely had a chance. He's rarely had a chance to prove himself in a Spurs shirt. In the Champions League, yes, he has, right? But in the league, he was out of favour. Well, yes, Kane and Son are by far Spurs' two key players. Obviously, we all know everyone's going to be talking about Harry Kane because 30 goals last season for a poor Spurs side. That is... Yes, even though obviously Haaland's been the standout player in the Premier League, but trust me, right, if without Haaland, Harry Kane is by miles the best striker in the league. By miles. But at the end of the day, I think with James Maddison, it is a great signing. He is fantastic. I think he fits straight in for me. You know what though? Like, and by the way, Zach Dominski, if you're watching this, I bet you're very happy, aren't you? And trust me, right? I've watched Maddison before. Even for England, he is really good. So good. Talent. He shows character. He shows fight, passion. Well, yes, even though Leicester fans have not criticised him, but I think some fans have criticised his attitude last season when he was in... Well, do you know with Maddison, there's one thing that I love, that he's honest. So say if Spurs are having a bad day, he admits everyone, including him, had been very poor. And yes, right, to be fair, Spurs over the last few years, in my opinion, I think other than, alongside with Manchester United, well, yes, Manchester United, they're showing some more love back for the club. But in my opinion, though, I think Spurs have probably now turned into the most toxic club in the country because when it's a bad game or bad spell, fans always seem to turn on the manager. They always seem to turn on the players. Well, yes, right, last season, okay, conceding 6 at Newcastle, which in my eyes is embarrassing, really. But away at St James's Park, bottling a 2-0 lead at City, which thank God, but because I simply couldn't be bothered experiencing another Spurs win against us. But bar at their place. They should be... Even losing to Bournemouth, who were actually still threatening of relegation. Drawing at Everton, losing to Villa. Well, yes, Villa. Well, to be fair, Villa was like the European decider, wasn't it? Because Villa was like their biggest game of the season because obviously for the race for European football. In my eyes, though, in my opinion, give Ange a chance because if you look at it, he has never managed in English football. Yes, he came in from Australia in 2021 when he was appointed Celtic manager. If you look at it, he won 2 SPLs 2 Scottish Premiership titles in a row, 2 Premier Sports Cup titles in a row, and the Scottish Cup. Right? That's like 5. That's 5 trophies in 2 years. 2 successive seasons, 5 trophies. 5. And for someone like Ange Postecoglou, that's fantastic. However, though, this is where the real business starts. In the English game. Yes, the Scottish Premier League to the English Premier League are miles different apart in terms of revenue, teams, broadcasting, and global audience. Trust me, right? But the Premier League is the best league in the world. It's the best league in the world. Right? But trust me, right? Trust me. Ange Postecoglou, if he doesn't get time, then simply I feel sorry for the lad because simply he deserves to have time to rebuild Tottenham and get the players that he wants. Not what Daniel Levy wants. What he wants. To build a good infrastructure Tottenham side. And that's what Spurs fans have been missing over the last 15 or something years. A team that can actually compete for trophies. Well, yes, Spurs, in my opinion, they'll never compete for trophies again. Not again, but Spurs, they'll never compete for the Premier League title again. They'll never do that. Them years have gone. Them years have gone for Spurs. Champions League, nowhere near. Europa League, maybe. Conference League, they should have won. However, they'll crash out of the group stage. Shocking. Absolutely dire from Spurs. Carabao Cup, FA Cup. Right, these are the trophies that Spurs should be able to compete for. If they compete for the Premier League title, then well done. Third place in a 2-horse race. Well done. Second place behind Chelsea. Well done. Spurs, yes. Right, even I take the mick about them not winning a trophy in like 15 years. Right, boy. But yeah, coming back to this, before I go, I just want to say that it is a fantastic signing for Spurs. It really is. If there's any Leicester fans or any Footy fans or Tottenham fans who are watching this video, please drop it in the comments. What are your thoughts on James Maddison moving from Leicester City to Tottenham Hotspur on a 5-year deal? And yeah, thank you for watching this video here, and love, peace and techers.